Good afternoon. This is our second Delta Conversation. Thank you all for being here with us, and particularly thanks to Archie and Olivia Manning for making the trip.
This is Olivia's second visit and Archie's first visit to the museum, so we thank you for being here today.
One of the things the Community Foundation does is develop permanent charitable assets for wonderful nonprofits that are doing great work in our 11-county region. And one of those is certainly the Grammy Museum. And we're grateful that the museum has placed its endowment with the Community Foundation for safekeeping and for growth. And with that in mind, what I am privileged to do on behalf of the Community Foundation is to make a little additional contribution to that endowment on behalf of the Community Foundation. And we're doing it in memory of Lucy Janis, who not only was the first president of the Grammy Museum, but also was the first chairman of this Delta Conversation. Lucy Janis's memory, we'd like to make a $5,000 presentation in Simmons Society Endowment for the Grammy Museum of Mississippi. Since the founding of the Community Foundation in 2002, thanks to more than 4,000 donors, including all of you gathered here today, we've been able to make grants of more than $22 million to help 700 plus nonprofits throughout our 11-county region. One of our projects is the Box Project. It connects 200 families in the Delta with sponsoring families throughout the country who help not only with physical necessities, but maybe more importantly with mentorship. One of the former Box Project recipients from Itta Bena, Dr. Tim Holston, who has gone on, who's now a teacher at Ole Miss, Archie. Tim, come on up.
I grew up in the Mississippi Delta, Itta Bena, Mississippi. I was the second of 4 children to my mother. She was a single mom. And I remember growing up and these little packages used to show up at our front door. They were boxes. In one of those boxes one year, I received some books. If you know me, I like reading. Reading is very important. And so one of those books inspired me to do a lot of more different things. The Box Project changed my life, and I think it can change many other lives. And I believe that so many other people can be so much greater than they know if they help sponsor things such as the Box Project. Thank you.
We still wanted to make a $5,000 gift to an endowment for the Box Project so it can keep on helping people like Tim and others, making a difference in so many lives. Thank you, Tim. At this time, call Tom Gresham up here and start our conversation.
I'm Archie, as you know, is a native of Drew, and Drew is just east of Cleveland. He's Mississippi and the Delta's most famous son. He was raised in Drew, graduated from Drew, an all-SEC quarterback, an All-American quarterback at Ole Miss. They're residents of New Orleans, but I'll say one thing about Archie and Olivia. They never forgot where they came from. They've always given back to the state of Mississippi and to Ole Miss. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Archie Manning.
I'm really glad to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation. I see a lot of old friends and familiar faces, so thank you. I have a lot of Delta memories, and I cherish them. I cherish my time growing up in Drew, Mississippi, Sunflower County, the time I spent in other communities throughout this part of the country.
At your summer quarterback camp that you've been doing for about 24 years, what's the most important thing you try to teach a high school quarterback?
I try to talk to them about leadership. You know, it really is a job of a high school quarterback, and more than just at practice on the field. You know, a lot of times it's up to them to get their guys together and have leadership, presence, and that type of thing more than anything.
Do you still get fan mail?
Young man from Memphis, Tennessee, let me see if I can remember this. He said, "Dear Mr. Manning, everyone in my class thinks your sons, Peyton and Eli, are so great. Well, I did a school report on you, and you were pretty good."
You mentioned in your opening remarks about life in the Delta. Any advice about improving the quality of life in the Delta that you would give us?
I love the projects, and we all want the same thing, but we all know the answer. It's is education and economic development. I commend you for supporting this. I commend you for supporting all the projects that will help make our Delta a better region.
Almost 20 years ago, you wrote a book, Manning, and you wrote that you always included telephone conversations with your 3 sons by telling them that you love them. Do you still do that?
Yeah, it's just what we do.
How were you lucky enough to marry Olivia?
I was very fortunate. Almost 49 years, and she came with me today. I'm gonna make Olivia stand, please. Miss Olivia Manning.
How did Peyton going to Tennessee and Eli going to Ole Miss affect you and your family?
There was some people a little upset, but we just had to, we wanted our children to make their own decisions, and Peyton put a lot into it. But I will say Eli kind of got me back in good graces with a lot of people.
So I'm going to ask you one last question. What are you most proud of your sons?
I think if you put yourself in the picture of a dad, Peyton had always been involved with St. Vincent Hospital there in Indianapolis with their children's hospital. When the Colts won their first Super Bowl, and the night before we had a little ceremony, and we dedicated Peyton Manning Children's Hospital. And I told him, this is your finest hour. Eli, growing up in Louisiana, but playing ball in Mississippi, he said, Dad, I want to do something in Mississippi. So he went to Jackson, he went through Children's Hospital, and we dedicated Eli Manning Children's Clinics. And I told him the same thing. This is your finest hour. Cooper has been very active as a businessman in New Orleans. He and Ellen especially with philanthropic things. So I kind of have a theory everybody ought to go through a children's hospital. I'm sure y'all understand when I say that. That's really what makes me proud.
Thank you, Archie. Y'all give him a big hand. I'm going to turn this over to Keith Fulcher.
Tom Pittman founded the Community Foundation in 2002. So we want to thank Tom for everything he's done in putting together this organization. The person who provided the funding to support the Community Foundation is Robin Hurdle. So Robin, if you'll stand up and let us thank you for your contributions in starting the Community Foundation of Northwest Mississippi. On behalf of everyone from Drew who helped fund this, everyone from the entire region, we are pleased to announce the Archie Manning Endowment for Drew and North Sunflower County. $20,000 endowment will be created. I have the pleasure of auctioning off a triple signed football by Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, and the greatest of all Manning quarterbacks, Archie Manning. All right, 5,000. Anybody 5,000? Anybody 5? All right, going once, going twice. Come on up and get your football. Please consider your own gift to the Box Project, the Grammy Museum, the Archie Manning Endowment. We are stand adjourned, and thank you.